Hi there, this is Vicki Christensen O'Shields for She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls. This morning we're sitting in actually a beautiful home here on the Perry Haynes Ranch. We have some wonderful guests with us. We're going to talk a little bit this morning about a very special program that takes place here at the Perry Haynes Ranch. And with me today we have JoAnne Newton, and we have Lori Rockwood. Ladies, welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Well, you ladies are in charge of a very exciting program, and I'm going to pronounce it right. It's called EGALA. And tell us, share with us, what is EGALA?
It's Equine Assisted Growth and Learning Association is what the acronym is, and it's where they utilize horses in therapy sessions with individuals, groups, but different clients that have different issues and diagnosis that they need to come in, and rather than a traditional office setting, then it's out with the horses.
In this program, what happens is there's a mental health person, which is a certified person. Lori and I are both LPC, so licensed professional counselors, and then we have an equine person that is along with us that makes sure of the safety of people and of the horses.
Okay, well, tell us, if you would, a little bit more about the participant, the EGALA participants, and what part of the state. Do they come from all parts of Texas, or how do they apply for this program?
Well, EGALA is actually the certification program that is for the providers, which would be myself and Lori and our equine person. Now, in order for a client to benefit from EGALA, they would go to a therapist that actually was certified in EGALA and uses horses in their therapy sessions.
Okay. Well, Lori, how long have you been involved with EGALA?
I've been with EGALA for, I believe, 6 years.
6 years.
Yes.
Okay, and JoAnne, how about you?
Oh, it's right along the same. I took a little break away, but going back strong again now.
So, you know, you do your certification program, and then your participants come in, the people that you assist in this. Tell me a little bit about that procedure. I mean, what is a typical, when you're working with a client or with someone that you're helping, JoAnne, tell us about that.
Well, what happens usually is they'll come in. It works very, very well. Biggest success stories that I've had are usually with soldiers with PTSD and adolescent girls, the two-way different. But they'll come in to receive therapy, and a lot of times sitting, one-on-one, it will take a long time for those things to come out. But something that's magical, wonderful about horses is that when you bring them into the mix, it just changes everything and things come out quickly. So what happens is they'll come in for their session, and then we'll go in, the equine person and the therapist and whomever we're working with, and they'll go into the round pen or the area that the horses are, and we may ask them to do a task or not. We will ask them to interact with the horses, and then through the interaction, things will come out, and we'll discuss those things with the client. And a lot of times the client will just continue to discuss with us because of the thing that happened between them and the horse. So it's just amazing.
And so this is an ongoing therapy then?
Yes, yes. Usually it doesn't happen in one session. It's just like going to see a counselor or a therapist. It depends on what's going on. It may be 3 sessions. It may be a year. It just depends on how quickly they process and how quickly they work through the issues that they have.
And so both of you, Lori, the sessions that you do with the EGALA are right here on the ranch?
Yes.
Wonderful. So the participants travel in, and we're going to get some history about this ranch too here in a little while as we get into this interview with another lady that's very involved, and she's going to fill us in on exactly what Perry Haynes Ranch is and what takes place here. There's so much going on, but I mean, out this way, of course I know you can't see this because, but it's a beautiful view out these windows. There's cabins. these people come in, these young ladies, these veterans, and they get to stay here, and they get to kind of just indulge in this beautiful serenity. And then the therapy takes place here, and they develop that relationship with the animal.
Yes, and there's different types. Sometimes we do retreats where they do stay here, and sometimes it might just be an hour session, just as if it was in an office setting, but the office is the arena around Penn area. And whenever we do EGALA, there's different people within the area, and there's a therapist, the licensed therapist, there's an equine specialist, there's the client or clients, and then the horse. The horse is considered part of the team, and there may be 1 to 4 horses in the arena at any given time.
Okay, then that leads me to the horses. Okay, tell me about the horses. Are they the horses are here from the ranch, on the ranch? Where do the horses come from?
The horses that we have now are actually our equine person. They're her horses. They do not have to be trained. That's not something that they have to get certification for. The horses are already certified. We're the ones that have to learn what the horses are doing.
Right.
But and that is the part, is that the horses, they can be broke or they not. It matters that they're used to being around people a lot of the times. So that is where they just come in their instinct and their discernment and what they're doing with them, and then what we ask the client to do with them.
But you want a horse that's even-minded and gentle.
Right. Yes.
To the most part.
Somewhat.
Yeah. Most of the horses we use, we prefer them not to have vices of biting and kicking naturally. Now, there may be something that comes up that they do that because of an activity, but that's not usually their pattern or what they're doing.
The biggest thing is that we do not ride in the EGALA model. It's not a riding therapy. That's a different type of therapy, hippotherapy. But we actually do, it's groundwork.
It's a hands-on therapy,
Yes.
groundwork.
An experiential modality is pretty much what it's referred to as, because the client is in there experiencing. Oftentimes it brings up events or things that have occurred with the clients, and it's more of an experiential modality for the client than just sitting in the office talking.
Oh, wow. Special stories. I'm certain both of you have a special memory of someone special, some client, some friend that really impacted your life in a certain way. JoAnne?
I actually, the reason why I even started EGALA is I've always loved horses, and I've always wanted horses, and the little girl that says, I want a horse. So I had an opportunity to work with a friend of mine and his horses, and when that happened, I began to go out and work with my children, my very own children, and so that we could ride, we had to feed and do all of those wonderful things, and all the wonderful things that go along with taking care of horses.
Little stalls.
Yes, and so I had mentioned it to, I used to be a school counselor, and I had mentioned it to one of my students at school, and he continued to say, I want to go out there with you, and I was like, no. He had gotten into some trouble at school, and then I was like, no, I really can't take you outside of school, this is the environment I can work with you, I can't. And he continued on, and his mom finally said, yes, I'm not going to sue you or anything. You take my child, please go out and take my. And I took him out, and he had been getting into a lot of issues at school, not doing well at all, and had a really hard time. I took him out to the horses, and he began to do grooming and a lot of different things with the horses, and his whole life changed. And it had nothing to do with me. I just drove him there.
But it did have a large part to do with it.
Well, as far as
you did too.
I took him there.
But it's part of the whole picture.
Right, and so he began to work with a horse named Mercedes, and that horse and him grew such a huge bond. And long story short, he ended up graduating from Tuskegee University with a double major in electrical and mechanical engineering.
Wow.
So
Wow,
that's
so
so whenever that, when I said, wow, there's something in this.
Mhm.
There's something in this. And so that began my love for the whole program, and that's where it began for me, actually.
What an amazing program. What about you, Lori?
I'm like JoAnne. I loved horses my whole life, and I really liked working with at-risk youth.
Mhm.
And I was in the prison system for a while working, and also in education, public education, and that was, again, my clientele that I liked working with.
Mhm.
And then whenever I was given the opportunity of being able to work with the horses and combine therapy,
Mhm.
then it was just,
Dream.
match made in heaven. So, and there wasn't just one particular, my family has always been super supportive of me and what I would like to do and my dreams. And then just people that I've met along the way that have been, friends of mine that have been very supportive, and they're like, oh, that just sounds so cool doing that. And so that just, built my momentum a little bit and just continued. And I thought, well, I'm going to go get the certification, and then ended up opening my own practice, and then was able to meet with these ladies and get to know them. And so it's just all been different steps that have come along. And then working with, she mentioned the girls, it just really clicks with groups of girls and bringing them in, and, just hearing from the parents that, nothing has worked before. I don't know what's going on out there, but something is working. And the girls will come back and they'll say, I don't know what it is, but I'm just so calm for the rest of the week. And so the horses don't only impact them just for that moment, but it carries on throughout. So it's just been it's a great program, and we've just been very blessed.
How rewarding, what a rewarding program, and you ladies are heroes, the horses are heroes, and it just is very special to be able to give back and know that whatever it was you did and participated in meant something very special to somebody. Now, for further information, how could our listeners find out about what it is you do, and is there a website they can go to? Tell us that.
There's actually an Agala website that gives an overview of the whole program, but then there's also Freedom Reigns Counseling website that discusses, the individual of us being out here at Perry Haynes and providing the services here.
Wonderful.
And then also Boys and Girls Club of Central Texas, but we'll talk about that later.
We're going to get into that later. We're going to say thank you, ladies, so very, very much, and look forward to visiting with you again.
Thank you.
And what a blessing.
Thank
what
you.
a
Yes,
blessing
it
you
is.
are. What a blessing this beautiful ranch is. Once again, this is Vicki Christensen O'Shields for She's Gone Country with the CB Cowgirls.